Born on June 20th, 1974, in Karachi, Sabeen Mahmud was destined to challenge convention and inspire change. She was educated at Karachi Grammar School, later continuing her studies at Kinnaird College for women in Lahore. From an early age, she showed signs of curiosity, empathy, and an urge to question social boundaries, traits that would later anchor her career in activism. Her fascination with computers and literature led her to blend technology with civic thought, setting the stage for a new kind of social leadership in Pakistan. Before becoming an icon of activism, Sabeen entered Pakistan's emerging digital sector with bold ideas. Mentored by veteran technologist Zahir Kidvai, she co-founded BITS, a tech consultancy firm focusing on interactive media, at a time when Pakistan's digital industry was still in its infancy. Alongside her work in technology, Sabeen contributed to the early development of the Citizens Archive of Pakistan, an initiative dedicated to digitally preserving the country's cultural and historical narratives. Her interest always lay at the crossroads of technology, art, and civic change, a blend that would define her future ventures. In 2006, Sabeen founded the Second Floor, T2S, in Karachi, a cafe that rapidly evolved into one of Pakistan's most celebrated cultural and intellectual spaces. What began as a cozy coffee house soon became a sanctuary for open discussion, creative arts, and independent thought. Under the umbrella of her social enterprise, Peace Niche, T2F became a venue for music performances, poetry readings, public forums, theater performances, and intellectual debates, all anchored in the belief that civic dialogue could transform society. For many, Sabeen's T2F became more than a cafe. It became Pakistan's answer to free speech and cultural revival, a digital age agora where young people could think, create, and challenge societal barriers without fear. Civic innovation and public advocacy. Sabeen Mahmud understood early on that social innovation required collaboration and dialogue. In 2013, she hosted Pakistan's first civic hackathon at T2F, inviting technologists, activists, and designers to co-create solutions for civic challenges such as education, transport, and governance. This event marked a milestone in Pakistan's civic tech movement, reflecting Sabeen's belief in community-powered progress. Beyond technology, she actively organized public talks and awareness drives centered around LGBTQ+ rights, religious tolerance, freedom of speech, and women's empowerment, issues that were often sidelined in mainstream discourse. Her courage in addressing these subjects placed her among Pakistan's most progressive and fearless social voices. Sabeen's path was never free of danger. Her commitment to defending free expression drew scrutiny from extremists and conservatives alike. Yet she refused to back down, famously rejecting armed security and insisting that T2F remain open to all. Her philosophy was simple: fear should never dictate freedom. Despite repeated warnings, she continued hosting controversial discussions, including topics that most avoided for safety reasons. Her courage made her both loved and targeted. On the night of April 24th, 2015, tragedy struck. After hosting a seminar titled Unsilencing Balochistan, Take 2, at T2F, featuring human rights activists such as Mama Kadir, Sabeen was fatally shot by extremists while driving home. Her mother, Mahinaz Mahmud, was critically injured, but survived. The attack carried out near T2F shocked Pakistan's civil society and drew global condemnation. Authorities later confirmed that her killers were linked to extremist networks, and her death was officially deemed a targeted assassination under Pakistan's Anti-Terrorism Act. Her funeral, attended by hundreds of artists, journalists, and activists, symbolized more than mourning. It was a national call for courage against silence and intolerance. Sabeen Mahmud's voice extended beyond Pakistan's borders. Her activism was covered by international media, including BBC, Al Jazeera, Washington Post, and The Guardian, which hailed her as a fearless campaigner for dialogue and dissent. She became an icon for civic innovation in South Asia, inspiring countless youth activists to use technology as a tool for human rights advocacy. Following her death, the Second Floor, T2F, continued under the Peace Niche Foundation, maintaining her mission of art, activism, and critical inquiry. Annual panels, art exhibitions, and hackathons held in her name celebrate freedom of thought and the resilience of Pakistan's creative youth. Her memory remains a guiding force in Karachi's art and social innovation circles. Sabeen Mahmud championed intellectual freedom, inclusivity, and digital awareness as tools for social progress. Her approach rejected fear-based silence, insisting instead on curiosity, empathy, and humor as responses to oppression. Friends and supporters recall that she described T2F as a living room for the city, an open platform where ideas could evolve into action. In today's Pakistan, her blueprint for cultural dialogue and digital activism lives on through new community spaces, indie collectives, and youth-led movements modeled after her ideals. Her legacy has inspired workshops, university courses, and international collaborations focused on digital activism and open communication. 10 years after her death, Sabeen's legacy continues through initiatives like the Sabeen Mahmud Foundation, which funds literacy projects, digital literacy hubs in Karachi, and visual art grants for social innovation. T2F Karachi remains operational, hosting more than 200 events annually, and continues to be a safe space for creative thinkers, activists, and students across Pakistan. In 2024, the foundation launched Unsilenced Voices, an annual event dedicated to new media and human rights, reinforcing Sabeen's original vision of open, thoughtful conversation. Her story has also been documented in international artworks, documentaries, and podcasts, ensuring her message transcends generations, honors, and recognition. Featured in BBC's 100 Women Who Changed the World, 2015. Posthumously awarded the Freedom of Expression Award by Index on Censorship, UK, 2016. Named among Asia's Courageous Women Defenders, 2020, by Amnesty International. Honored with the Human Rights Defender Memorial, 2024, for her lifelong advocacy of dialogue and tolerance.